Okay, welcome back to Rambling in a Closet. This is Kyle. I just finished playing the new Call of Duty game, Black Ops 6. 6, by the way. The first two were great, right? I guess. A little bit different from normal Call of Duty because they're all like trippy Cold War Vietnam mind game things about what's that CIA operation called? Gosh, why can't I think of it right now? The mind control. Oh, MK Ultra. My goodness. Well, great start to this episode, Kyle. Yeah, it's MK Ultra stuff. Not exactly, but based on it sort of thing. And fun games, cool campaigns to play through. Fun zombies, by the way, if you're familiar with Call of Duty Zombies. I don't really know about the other three, but then the Call of Duty Cold War came out a few years ago. That was fun. I enjoyed it, the campaign. A little trippy. You got to be a little more multiple choice going on. And then Black Ops 6 comes out. I saw very little like advertising about Black Ops 6. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know because I think what was it? Black Ops 3 or 4 came out and it was just multiplayer. There was no campaign, which is probably the stupidest thing ever. So I didn't know if this was another one of those where it was just another multiplayer only thing because I didn't see any branding or any advertising, so I just ignored it. And then it comes out on the Xbox for free if you have the Xbox subscription or whatever. So I go, okay, well, might as well download it. Quickly look over some reviews. People say it's good. People say it's bad. That's usually the case, so not very helpful there. And then I play it, and yeah, you know what? It was pretty fun. Yeah, it was all right. Especially compared to the last few Modern Warfare campaigns, which were stupid. I haven't played the third one, but 1 and 2 were kind of stupid. 1 was interesting, and then it got stupid, and then 2 was just playing up stupid. This one was cool. A little bit different, pretty much the same, if that makes sense. But there's something wrong here. The stuff they put in Call of Duty now. Okay, Call of Duty, I don't know if you've played the original 3 Modern Warfares. Those were great, I think, games. Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. Cool story, cool action, fun shoot 'em up stuff, believable, well, not believable physics and stuff like that, but still, it's fun. It's cool. You move, your suspension of disbelief is allowed because it's fun. But there's not, and during the Modern Warfare, there's a few like character moments where you're kind of like just clicking buttons and you're not really shooting. You're moving through a scene and it's about exposition. It's about showing what's going to happen with the stories and the characters, and you accept it because, oh, cool, this is a break in the action. I get to see what's going on with the characters, and they're very small moments. They're not entire levels, which is what this Black Ops game had. There are entire levels. You're not doing a shoot 'em up. You're just walking through, and the game is telling you what's going on. It's expositing. I don't know if that's a word, but it's just not in my Call of Duty game, man. This is what I think about. And by the way, I took some notes while I was playing it because I just finished playing it, and I thought I want to talk about this because this is irritating to me. It's still rambling in a closet, but this time I have like 9 notes. Just so I didn't forget, because one of the things I thought was really funny about this game was the puzzles. And you can't even call it puzzles. You can't call them puzzles. They're air quotes, puzzles that you experience through the game. And, you come across some levels. There are some levels where there are these safes that you find, and you hit the prompt, and you're like, oh, how do I open this safe? And it says you need 4 numbers. And you're like, oh, I wonder if there's like a letter on the wall or something, or if you're just supposed to guess it, or what's going on here. And then you find a radio, and you go, all right, and it says, look at the radio. You get a little prompt, and then you look at the radio. It's got 2 dials. And you just turn it left and right until it blinks green, and then the person on the radio starts giving you the numbers to the code of the safe. I mean, it's not like you're matching the frequency waves or doing any stuff. There's no skill. You just turn the 2 dials until they blink green, and then you're done. Oh, okay. Great. And then you type the code in, you get $1,000. Okay, good. But why is that in my Call of Duty game? What am I doing? I'm simply, it's just a waste of time. I'd rather it be, now I get it. Okay, I get it. there are some games that are made for the smarter kind of people, and there are some games made for the regular kind of people. I like to think of myself as a regular kind of person. I play somewhat smart games, but I like playing dumb games too, like Call of Duty. And I get it. You don't want to put some super challenging puzzle in the middle of your dumb shoot-'em-up game. I get it. However, I'd also rather not, like, this game is clearly made for people older than 18, right? It's not exactly a child game. Now, obviously, teenagers are going to buy it, but it's, it's not made for a 6-year-old, right? 6-year-olds are not the prime demographic of this Call of Duty game, and yet the puzzle level difficulty is that of someone probably even younger than a 6-year-old. Again, I get it. You don't want it to be super complicated, but at least give me some kind of satisfaction that I figured it out, Oh, wow, I feel pretty good. I figured out that puzzle real quick. Okay, back to shooting the bad guys, right? But no, it's like insulting you the whole time, much like the computer code. Okay, get this. Okay, no, hold on. I want to talk about the computer code because it's highly insulting, but right before that, the lockpicking. If you played a game like the Skyrim, Oblivion, Fallout, other lockpicking-esque things where there's lockpicking in the games, there's an element of challenge to it and skill. You got to level up your lockpicking skill. You get better at it over time. You break lockpicks because you don't always get it right on the first go. This game, again, it's like an insult. It's like a small little insult that they put this in there because I would rather have just a prompt. You go to a locked door. And by the way, some locked doors you can't lockpick, but other locked doors you can lockpick, even though the door handles look exactly the same. Don't ask me why. The video game's got a video game, I guess. I would rather there just be a prompt on a locked door. Pick lock. You hit X, pick lock. Your little hand motion, a little thing happens, and you unpick it, and then you move through the door. Okay, fine, whatever, unnecessary, but I'd rather it be that than what it gives you to do, which is to stick the lockpick in there, and then you wiggle. You see, it's like a little 2D section of the lock, and you see the little, whatever those things, the tumblers, and you just you highlight under the tumbler until it turns white, and then you move to the next one. Seriously, that's it. It takes 5 seconds, 10 seconds, depending on how big the lock is, and it's completely, there's no skill involved. It's just done, and the door's unlocked. I'm like, what? Come on, all right. I get it. Again, you don't want this to be super challenging because you're in the middle of a shoot-'em-up, but don't put it in there in the first place. I'm sorry. Anyways, the last bit, though. Now, this is something else. The computer code, my God. There are some computers in the game. You go up to it, it says interact or whatever, and it gives you a cipher. Now, the cipher is very simple. At the very bottom of the screen, it says, here are the numbers 1 through 10, and these are the letters they correspond to. You only get 10 options. Okay, well, there's 26 letters in the alphabet, so that kind of makes it smaller, kind of makes it easier. They give you the code to decipher on the top of the screen, and then on the same screen. You don't have to go find this anywhere. You don't have to work it all to go get it. You don't have to piece it together over time. No. On the bottom of the computer screen is the code to the cipher, or is the key to the cipher, and on the top is the code you're supposed to use. So you just spend like 30 seconds looking up and down and typing in the code, and then it's done. And that's it. You've unlocked the computer. This is, it's like, come on, man. Give me something to work with here. Or just don't put it in the first place. It doesn't have to. Look, there's nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong. You can look back at the original Modern Warfare trilogy. There is nothing wrong with just a good old story-driven shoot-'em-up game. You don't need to put puzzles in there. You don't need to put character-driven exposition levels, entire levels, where you're not shooting any bad guys. You're just walking through and hitting X to, prompt things. But no, they thought, I know, great idea, guys. We're gonna change this game. They did it in the last Call of Duty game, the last Black Ops game too, and I don't remember being as annoyed as like the actual. Oh, actually, no, the last Black Ops game, Cold War. There were a couple puzzles in there that you could get wrong if you weren't paying attention. That was cool, and you weren't doing it in the middle of a level. It was in the interim between levels. You were cracking these codes and figuring out these, and you didn't have to do it if you didn't. If you didn't figure out the puzzle, then the next mission would happen, and it would be either harder or you couldn't complete it at 100%. But if you did, then you would be benefited in the next mission. That's cool. It's optional. It's better if you do. It doesn't matter if you don't. It's fun. It was actually entertaining. There was a couple ones that were stupid, I guess, but if I remember correctly. But this one, no, nothing like that. Nothing. There's no, you could screw this up. You would have to be functionally brain dead to not understand how to figure out these puzzles, which is why they're so irritating. And I don't want to, this is rambling in a closet, not ranting in a closet. I don't want to be completely negative because this was a fun game. I played it to the end. I thought, oh, there was one bit, again, spoiler alert, but whatever. There's this whole section of the game halfway through where it goes Call of Duty Zombies all of a sudden. No joke. It just turns into a Call of Duty Zombies game. And not going to lie, it was pretty fun. Didn't make any sense. I don't understand why they put that in there, but I didn't care. I was just playing zombies in the middle of my Call of Duty campaign. That was kind of cool. The actual challenge you were trying to figure out during the whole level was not exactly challenging. You just have to collect key cards so you can go to an elevator or something. But the whole process, it was kind of fun. And they were actually, in the beginning, it's actually kind of scary. I don't want to say scary like, Slenderman was when you were 10 years old, but I mean like scary for a Call of Duty game. You're actually going, that was kind of cool. And, don't get me wrong, I had some wine while I was playing this. That probably helped, lubricate my suspension of disbelief. But hey, whatever. I got to the end of the level. It was like an hour long. And I was like, wow, that was kind of cool. I just played Call of Duty Zombies in the middle of a Call of Duty single-player game. Neat. All right. And then, the rest of the game happens and whatever. And it's fine. And it's interesting and whatever. The story is pretty basic. Call of Duty, government agencies trying to end the world or whatever. That was fun. And then the opposite, and then the end level. It's not the whole end level, the point of no return or whatever point in most games now where they go, hey, are you sure you want to go to this level now because you can't upgrade any of your stuff anymore? And you go, yeah. So you do this and you capture the big bad, and the big bad, she's a big bad woman, by the way. And you inject her with some kind of weird mind developing truth serum, and then you're inside her. Again, spoilers alert, but this is really stupid, so who cares? You could skip this entire level, and literally, you're not missing anything. You go into her brain, and apparently, the real person is not really there. She's being corrupted by her evil self, which is the bioweapon that they're working on, or something. I probably missed something along the way. It was acceptable by the end of it. I went, okay, I guess I can see how this is a thing. But it was pretty stupid. And so you're in her head, and she's going through a memory of her childhood. We're trying to see how this poor girl was traumatized as a child because her two parents were shot and killed in front of her because they were CIA agents. Okay, whatever. Good to know. And then you have to, and it's so ham-fisted, it's so in your face, this thing that you have to solve this puzzle now. The mirror breaks and 3 big shards fall off, and she goes, I have to collect the mirror edges. And you just roll your eyes because you're like, are you serious? And the very end of my Call of Duty game, I now have to play this character-driven thing where I have to walk around and collect glass shards. What? Hey, whatever. So I'm playing it. I seriously played it 20 minutes ago, and I can't remember most of it. I just remember being very irritated and very bored by this. There were a couple of bits throughout that were kind of entertaining and somewhat scary. You're basically fending yourself off from zombie versions of you. Well, you're the bad woman, by the way. You're the good version of the bad woman you're playing as now, and your main enemy, your main enemy in this glass shard collecting mission is zombie versions of yourself. Now, they're not zombies, but they act like zombies, but they look exactly like you as a normal human. No blood, no decayed flesh. They're just you, but they make these weird, like, no joke. They make these weird sounds as they're running at you. It's hilarious. It's not at all scary. And you're just shooting yourself the whole time. And it's like, okay, whatever. You collect the glass shards. Then, going back to puzzles, by the way, I really don't want to rant too much. Again, because it was a fun game overall. I enjoyed it. I enjoy good, but I just, anyways, there's a puzzle in this glass shard collecting. And by the way, you collect 3 glass shards. In the middle of collecting the second glass shard, you have to do this puzzle where you walk around the tattered remains of her childhood, I guess, and you're trying to find clues because her mom liked scavenger hunts with you growing up. Yeah, okay. You have to find 3 numbers to unlock a chest, and so you walk around and it's like, and there's this trophy case with all the trophies and badges that you were awarded growing up, and the note is all of something clever, something that rhymes, and it's like the badges minus the trophies is the number you want. It's like, what? Okay, so you look up, there's 6 trophies, or there's 5, I can't remember what, there were 6 trophies and 5 badges. 1. Okay, you get 1. That was the puzzle? So now I have to remember that number in my head. Okay, 1. I think I have to remember the number. You go to the other 2 spots, and it's just as stupid. I don't even remember what they were. They were just infuriatingly simple and dumb. But the only challenge in here, and it's annoying too, because now I have to remember these 3 numbers before I get back to the beginning of the mission where I have to type in the code. You get back to the beginning of the mission where you have to type in the code, and the 3 puzzles are just there now, all in case you forgot. In case you forgot the 3 numbers that you had to do these stupid rhymes to figure out, which I don't even want to say figure out. You didn't figure out anything. You just looked at it and you go, okay, that's the number. Well, now the puzzles are all around you, so if you forgot, you can always reference your notes. Anyways, you type in the code and you move on to collecting the 3rd glass shard. And that was kind of fun. You know, it's a little time-based platforming shoot 'em up where every time you die, you restart, but you know what's coming next. Anyways, again, Call of Duty game, and the final mission ensues, and, you know, whatever. It's fun. I just don't understand. I don't understand this this 5-year-old puzzle thing. And I also don't understand, and this has been a problem with a lot of games recently, where they put in this exposition level where for at least 10 minutes, you're not doing anything. You're either pushing forward on the thumbstick, or you're occasionally hitting buttons to execute certain prompts, some timed quick time actions or whatever they're called. In Call of Duty Black Ops 1, there are a couple, I don't know, I can't remember if they're missions. There is one that I can definitely think of where you're walking through a hallway and it's like 10 minutes. No joke, of walking through a hallway. But it comes at the end of the game where you're actually interested in what he's figuring out. So it's like acceptable. And then, Black Ops is a little bit more, weird, character-driven. The original Modern Warfare trilogy, they're definitely interesting characters. You care when Ghost and Soap get killed by the general or whatever. Spoiler alert. You kind of go, oh, that sucks. They were kind of cool. But you're not like completely attached to them. You're mostly the silent protagonist the whole time. So you're just a bunch of badasses killing bad guys who are invading your country or threatening to destroy your country with a nuclear bomb. At least they're properly bad. And, war is not great, but at least you're killing not morally ambiguous bad guys. And there is something, I want to digress for a second. There is something weird. Like if you play the Call of Duty 2, the original Call of Duty games, like Call of Duty 2, 3, where you're in World War II, I have started to not really like World War II games as much because they portray the Germans as these evil big bads. And, like, obviously you understand, but the Germans, the soldiers in and of themselves, most of them that you mow down in these Call of Duty 2 games or, Battlefield games, in any of these World War II shoot-'em-ups, you're mowing down endless scores of Germans and Japanese. And, you get it. They're bad guys. You're trying to recreate World War II and everything. But, there's this lack of humanity in that. These Germans, not all these soldiers knew what was going on. They just believed in their country and they're fighting for it, just like you're doing as your American self or Russian self or British self. Whatever. I again, this is a digression, but I do appreciate the shoot-'em-up games where, like, the bad guys are pretty bad. Like in the Modern Warfare 3 series, or in Modern Warfare 2 and 3, the original ones, the Russians are invading your country. Okay, if you're a Russian citizen, you still believe in your country. You probably still have been propagandized to do that, but at least as an American, you are defending your homeland, so it's, like, justified. You're still murdering people, but it's a video game and it's war, so it's acceptable, I think. Whereas the World War II, it's like maybe we should be a little bit more sensitive about how we think about World War II. It's not just bad versus good. It's bad man Hitler, controlling his army of, normal people for the most part against your army of normal people controlled by, again, obviously the Germans were the bad people in this situation. But I don't like how you in these games you just mow them down endlessly, and there's no, like if you played, again, this is a long digression. I will go back, I promise. But there is this Battlefield 1 where you're playing World War I, and it's all like this anti-war, war is hell, and you don't know if you're going to survive, and it's like this really dark look at, which is great. I appreciate that. They want to make you see the seriousness of war. But in between all these cutscenes of showing you the seriousness of war, you're just brutally mowing down waves of German soldiers who are just like you, but on the other side of the conflict. So I'm confused by your message here. Am I supposed to be anti-war, or am I supposed to be enjoying this game here that you made for me to enjoy? Because I don't want to be lectured while also being told to, like, I can't not shoot the Germans, right? Or else I'll just die. I have to shoot them. But you're also telling me how bad war is. So I'm confused. Which is why I like the Call of Duty Modern Warfare series, and for the most part, the Black Ops series, because it's a little bit easier to justify in your head. Again, it is a video game, so, there's that. You don't have to take it that seriously. But I don't even think I can play games like Grand Theft Auto anymore. I mean, it was fun, but what are you doing? Why is it fun? You're literally carjacking people. If you play the game a certain way, you're not trying to murder civilians. But in the very beginning of the game, you cannot not kill the police officer. The police officers are just responding to a bank robbery call. And you just murder like 100 of them in the first level, which I don't know why this small town, police station had 100 cops. But whatever. Again, it's a video game. But, it's just a video game, Kyle. Relax. They're not real. It's like, yeah, I know. But then why if it doesn't matter, then why can't they be like the mafia coming to stop? Like, why can't they be bad people coming to stop me? Why does it have to be police officers that I have to kill now? Again, it's just a video game. I know, whatever. But I don't know. I don't like this kind of stuff anymore. It makes me feel a little uneasy. I don't like the idea of, even if it's a bunch of pixels, your brain still knows what you're doing. And there's just something off about it, I think. I don't know, which is why I like, again, there's probably some exceptions that if I went through, which I plan on doing sometime soon, but if I went through the original Modern Warfare series and played through, there's probably some levels where you're killing normal bad soldiers, where they're not actually bad, they're just part of the wrong country, and so you kill them because they're in your way. Whereas there are clearly levels where you're doing the right thing and you're defending your country and yada, yada, yada. Obviously, all of these games are... actually, I don't know if the Call of Duty Black Ops series is as much, but the Modern Warfare is definitely just straight up military propaganda. Let's just, of course, I know that it makes you feel like a badass. Oh, if I join the army, I'm going to go save us from the Russians with these really cool weapons, and I'm going to learn how to, be a badass. When in reality, that's not what's going to happen, at least not in the first few days of joining the army. Anyways, Call of Duty clearly, just like Top Gun, clearly propaganda, hey, come and join the military. Isn't it cool, though? But I look past that. It's just kind of fun either way. What am I even talking about? Listen, it's fun. The shoot-'em-up games are fun. I do enjoy them. You can turn your brain off for a little bit and just, follow the guided path and shoot the bad guys. Okay, cool. And I can do that for about half an hour to an hour, and then I'll be done for the day. This is why I tend to play games more like PUBG, where I can actually be productive while playing the game. For the most part, I can listen to a podcast and practice my Turkish words in between the levels. If it's like a single-player game, you can't really do that because you got to pay attention to the audio and the talking and the... Well, I've talked about this before, but anyways. But every now and again, it's fun to sit down and play a shoot-'em-up. But I'm going to bring it back to the end. Excuse me. I'm going to bring it back to the beginning. I do not want to be having to solve 5-year-old, 5th grade, whatever, puzzles in my Call of Duty game. Again, I remind you, there is a puzzle you solve where the code and the cipher, and the key to the cipher, to the code, everything is on one screen. You're not doing anything. Not in my Call of Duty game, please, sir. I just want to shoot the bad guys. The morally, unambiguously evil bad guys. That's what I want in my shoot 'em up. Give me some bad people, and I'm going to use different weapons and kill them, and it's going to be fun. Anyways, I don't know. What do you think? Did you like that game? Have you played it yet? It's like it had no press, and it's basically free if you have any of the subscription services. So but it was actually a well put together game from what I can tell. I didn't play zombies. I haven't played multiplayer. I don't care. But the campaign was like, you can tell they put some work into that thing. There's this whole open world level, like an hour-long open world level where you have this entire desert you go and complete objectives. That took some time. And there's this open world stealth level, which I try to complete stealth levels as they're meant to be completed. But I guess halfway through this one, I got caught and I was just too lazy to restart the checkpoint. And so I just went loud and finished the level going loud. It was actually a cool setup. You can choose different ways to complete your mission, but I just chose to blow everything up, which was perfectly fine. I guess I got lazy. But anyways, you can tell some thought and effort went into this game. It was fun. It was interesting, the story, even though I can't really tell you what happened. It was whatever. But yeah, I mean, 6 out of 10. Totally. I just get these stupid puzzles out of here. What the hell? The glass shards. Oh, last note, by the way, before I end. And then this is also moderately annoying. In all these modern shoot 'em up games, the rap music. Why does every shoot 'em up have rap music in it? This one, right at the very end, rap music during the credits. Like, why? Who are you marketing this to? Like teenagers who think they're cool because they're listening to Jim Wappy? I sound like an old fart when I say that. Who's listening to this crap anyways? Really? And I know that's actually true because I have friends who play Call of Duty religiously, and they listen to this music. So I guess they're not wrong, but it's so frustrating. I don't want rap music. Why don't you play some like old, classic rock? I don't know. Anyways. That was Rambling in a Closet. Thank you for listening. I'm up on YouTube now, which is cool. So they're there to watch. It's kind of the same thing. Maybe one day I'll actually have a camera and have some stuff going on the screen, but for now it's just a picture of my closet. So thanks for listening. This is Kyle signing off from Rambling in a Closet. We'll see you next time.